every third year, every fourth year through some bonding at town meeting, is the piece that really should be in our operating budget every year, but it isn't. And so that money is parlayed over that a period of time to address our secondary road system, our residential streets, which includes basic crack filling, infrared trench repairs, as well as shimming and microsurfacing or major rehabilitation. Those are just some examples. In utilities, we are getting into sewers, as you know. Ultimately, that will be a major piece of our utilities budget. It'll be an enterprise, we would expect, much like water. The only thing on the water sewer side are the SRF funds. When you go ahead and implement capital projects, there are the 2% loan funds available from the state currently. They used to be 0%, now they're 2%. And that is the only other outside financial help that we have in our entire public works budget. Now I'll take you through each discipline, and what I'll do just quickly is tell you how much we're over or under, or we're at the same. And you have questions on them, please just ask. Engineering is level. We have one engineer, Michael Sorrigan. He's an excellent individual. Proud to have him with us. Michael has including his undergrad, he has his master's degree in civil, and he specialized in hydraulics. And he's brought to the table for us tremendous opportunities in grants, federal grants, for a lot of our flood mitigation projects. The police department, that new building there at the existing site would not be at that existing site if it wasn't for Mike's ability to address, calculate, apply for the grant, and create that wall back there. We are, by the way, revising that grant, make that wall higher. Believe it or not, the floodplain has expanded back there. I don't think that's anybody's surprise. The reason for that is more of the town is covered with impervious material, and so the water gets to the Ipswich floodplain quicker. There's more of it, and the only way it can go is out, and so that the building is still at risk. We would expect we would be going to town meeting hopefully in the fall for matching grants if we're successful in that, obtaining that grant. Mike's duties are to support the CPC. When a project come into the CPC that are going to be public projects, he reviews them, he inspects them, he signs off on them. Only because when it goes from private ownership to public ownership, Public Works is going to be responsible for taking care of it. It also supports all the construction activities for the DPW, and also coordinates all our consultants associated with outside services such as structural engineering, transportation engineering, and stormwater management. There's no increase in that budget.
David, two questions. One from previous comment. You said there were 28 public employees.
Yes.
Public Works employees. Did that include yourself?
Yes.
It did.
What, Bob? Sorry?
I asked if it included himself. I wasn't sure.
Did you have some ideas in mind after this budget?
No, but when I counted up the numbers on your chart, you know, there were 3 members that were 50% here and there. And so if you counted every number up, it was a bigger number, and I was just trying to
It's really 20,
Yeah.
it's 28. They may distribute, some people are distributed 50-50.
Right. Yeah, I understood that.
It's 28.
Second is, you note here that Mike's salary is 50% in engineering. Where is the rest of it?
Water, utilities. Myself, the administration staff, and Mike, plus obviously we are 50-50. We did we did a mathematical exercise a number of years ago when George Dow was the finance director in terms of internal indirect costs in the department, as well as services provided from highway to the water department, for example. Try to get a hold of, handle on how much money within the DPW has to support the water, and come up with some format that we could just standardize, and this was the result. Administration, again, is...
You through with engineering?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Any questions from anybody regarding the engineering requests?
Administration, there's no change in administration. There are 3 people in administration, myself, Lorraine, Ellis, who took Lois Chockwick's place just recently, and she's doing fine. She was the technical bookkeeper, and now Sandy Quinlan has taken that position, and she's doing well. Very happy to have those 2 people aboard. They combine. Sandy's primary duties are customer service and the bookkeeping elements, the purchase orders, and making sure that our payables, we meet all our discounts. We never miss that discounts. That's a primary goal. And also does all the timekeeping for the crew and so forth. And Lorraine, along with Sandy, of course, oversee the budget in terms of we meet quarterly to address budget development, of course, budget implementation, and then budget monitoring. Through Lorraine's office also is the job center. That means everything that's assigned to the various supervisors or foremen generated in my office, and are left with Lorraine to follow through in terms of tracking and so forth. That goes for anything from a major project to fixing someone's pothole. Those are just a few examples of the ongoing work. Any questions on administration?
The 10% overtime for clerical, typically, what's a typical use of overtime in that area? What would drive that?
Emergencies.
Emergencies?
Yeah, where they have to be here. They have to be here. That staff, we go pick them up. They have to be here for emergencies. They got to cover the phones.
What would be an example of an emergency?
Snowstorm. Sure.
Drug and alcohol testing, is that a new program?
No, it's ongoing. Drug and alcohol testing is for our blue collar union. They're required to have CDL licenses. That's that federal law that came in a number of years ago, and with CDL licenses are random drug and alcohol testing through the year.
Anyone else have any questions?
Road and Street is up 9,000. Greg had cut 1,583, so we're looking at about a 7,000 in change. If I do the math right. Increase. That's related to a few things. Small capital, our lease rental on our sweeper, and the introduction of a traffic maintenance account. We didn't have any signals, traffic signals that we had to maintain outside of the blinking lights. Now we have to maintain traffic signals. As soon as 62 is turned over to us, we own all those signals. That would be strictly contractual. We wouldn't have anybody in-house trained. These people are available 24 hours a day if we have problems, but you got to pay them when they come out to fix the systems.
And that's done from an outside
Right.
source.
Right. Now, just to spend a little time on the highway, Most people think of Public Works, that's between the fleet maintenance and highway, that's pretty much your core. And again, there's nothing we really do in the course of a year. And when you think of the year, think of it seasonally. We break our operations down on a seasonal basis in highway. Water obviously is a continuous 24/7 all year long. Highway has to switch gears to do various elements of work throughout the town, and it's more seasonal driven. But there's nothing the entire DPW does pretty much by themselves. We have to bring in contractual services, vendor services from our consortium bid with our neighbors, Linfield and Middleton. That's extremely successful. It's about 16, 17 years now we've had that relationship. We also have a relationship between the towns to help each other as well. So that's provided a tremendous resource, and it's how we work. For example, if we do a road project and we have to redo, the road is deteriorated and we have to rebuild the road, we go to the consortium bid to pick our selected reclamation bidder, and we'll have the road reclaimed. Rather than removed and re-gravelled, we reclaim the road to utilize everything that's in the road through a specialized contractor. We will do all the drainage. We usually do all the drainage, rework or new work ourselves. Then the paving is done by our paving contractor out of the same consortium bid. The curbing as well could be done usually by them, sometimes by us. We have a curb machine. And then all the loam seed, driveways, all that kind of manicured work that the customers, the neighbors are really fussy about is usually handled almost always entirely by ourselves. If the project is big, we have selective contractors who have signed up with us, have given us bids, who are very good, that meet our standards, and we may employ them as well to do that kind of work. So that's just kind of an example of how a project would go. The projects that employ us, the DPW crews, are done Tuesday evening, Thursday evening, and Saturdays. It is not done during the normal hours. The reason for that is twofold. The main mission of the DPW in terms of infrastructure is to maintain it, just like your home. You mow the lawn, you want to keep it green, you want to keep water out of the basement, you got to put your new roofs on. I mean, you're going to maintain your home and your yard. We need to maintain the town the same way. It needs to be clean and neat. Can't all be new at once, but it can be clean. Basins have to be rebuilt. A lot of underground activity that people don't even see. The hiring of our own people at time and a half on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday is so much cheaper than if we employ contractors, union contractors, on daytime hours. So the more we can do with our own forces through that program, the more money goes for material going into the project itself as opposed to labor. Hillview hires us, the school hires us, park department, the rec department, hires us because of the same opportunities for them to provide that town-wide. It's been extremely successful. It also keeps good people here because Public Works are on the low end of pay scale. That's the nature of the business. Even though they have to be well-trained today, that is the nature of the business. And by having, obviously in the winter, whatever comes at them is hard money, but it's overtime money. But during the construction season, to have this program is a real morale builder. they're paid, they're able to buy homes close